and Ian is here with me, and I would like him to introduce himself. Actually, you know him from Lada's side before, and a lot of you are familiar with his. And you are not evolutionary astrologer, you are freedom astrologer, right?
Yes, thank you very much for having me and for that short introduction. Yes, some of you may know me from Astrological's platform. I've been there. Yes, my type of astrology is a very, let's say, unique take on astrology. I named it myself. You can call it that. I call it the freedom astrology or freedom astrology, and uh, basically this is what I do. Everything I do with astrology, with my business, it's geared towards to create more freedom in a person's life. So that's the whole basis. Because as many of your most likely your channel's viewers might know, we're maybe not the most free as a species currently on planet Earth. So I also lived a life of maybe not being so free. So that is the kind of origin of the freedom astrologer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
liberation is very, very important. And if you are capable to give them some kind of peace and liberation for their soul, and then they are empowered to move forward on their own. So freedom, it's also for me actually representing they have free wills, not everything written in stones. There is indicators, right? And that's what we're going to talk about that today. But I'm really happy to hear that because that's the main, yeah, ethic, very, very moral and ethic in astrology, really, really important. And today we are here, actually, we agreed we're going to talk about psychic ability and writer's indication in the chart. And you chose actually, and you want to have a slideshow actually showed, and you can share anything, but you chose actually Rudolf Steiner, which I'm amazed with his work because he was not only a writer, but he was a psychic clairvoyant as well. And his work has really affected me. And also the other one is Lev Tolstoy. And I
Yes.
love Lev Tolstoy because of I'm a drama therapist, a special
Mm.
educational teacher, and I had to read a lot of Russian novelists, right? And Lev Tolstoy was one of that. And when I saw the chart, and also Tolstoy was one of that who also had psychic ability. So when I saw those two, I was like, oh, all right, you are very prepared over here.
Yes, I'm very glad you're already kind of jumping in, because I will share the slides in a minute, but this is one of the things for today or for tonight, whenever you're looking for this presentation, is there's a lot of connections between being a writer, or channeling, let's say, psychic gifts, because in essence you're connecting to the realm, you're connecting to the astral, you're connecting to somewhere else, and you're pulling information from that area. So that there's a lot of connections. So let's maybe just
Yes,
start with
the
that.
Akashic record, and actually Steiner, Rudolf Steiner, he was born actually in that place was Hungary, but it's Croatia right now. But because it was the Austrian and Hungarian monarchy when he was born, and the place was Hungarian ruled back then. But yes, because of the Akashic record, and he actually studied the Akashic record. And also, when you are writing, you are downloading from the Akashic, just like when you have the psychic ability. So I just want you to talk about everything. Sometimes I'm gonna get ask questions, but asteroid,
Oh no.
Chiron, if you have any kind of asteroid, Cassandra, for example, the prophet over there, or or even with writers, Kirke, and if you want to involve anything, and if you can also talk about that, is it has to be written in the chart, in the natal chart, in the blueprint. So, were you born as a psychic and writer, or by transit progression and solar arc, can it be actually improved or somehow learned? So, just, let's
100.
go
so
and flood us with
so
information.
I'll give you this right off the bat. 100% transits and everything will open windows to improve, to enhance, and maybe even like write a one-off book, or have a very in tune 12 months, be channeling a lot of information. I'll just introduce myself for people who don't really know me. And you can easily skip that part if you already are familiar with my work. But I will share some stories of why everything that we're going to discuss here is important from a very practical view. Because for me, it's also not, we can look at the astrological configurations all the time, but we really need to use them in real life. That's a huge part of my work as well. So writers, indicators of writers, indicators of psychic abilities, and the connection there. And I will also give you some practical tips, and I will share a lot more information and actually real life stories as well. So who am I? Ian Alter, the Freedom Astrologer. I'm from a very, scientific family. One side, luckily, was a little bit more creative. Writers, poets, playwriters. So a lot of artistic expression, luckily, in one side as well. But generally, very scientific family background, very logical. None of this astrology, none of this made sense, and even was and still is looked down upon in my family. So it's when I start speaking about it now, I've stopped within my family, but even when I start speaking about it, people really start cringing. So you know a little bit where I'm from. Yeah, but in my life, I started experiencing a lot of spiritual awakenings, and those really broke my logical mind, let's say. But it didn't take it away, but it gave it another perspective. So all of these spiritual events, astrology, I start proving them to myself, to my logical scientific brain, from a very again logical tested university type way. And I made it's in a weird way I made myself believe in these things with logic, also, already been in this business and read thousands of natal charts, hundreds of consultations, also written 10 or even a little more books, with more on the way, uh, astrology related, spirituality related, um, also writing a novel, by the way, right now. Certified coach, astrologer, compassion key practitioner with over a decade of experience with working with people doing these types of let's say 1v1 consultations where I do, let's call it spiritual therapy in astrology. Now, some of you might even question, like, why are we even talking about these like psychic gifts and writing abilities and et cetera, et cetera. So one really big part of this is your financial income. So when you're connected to the, let's say, Akashic records, the realms, your guides, your I don't really like the word angels, but we can use the word angels as well. So I'll give you a really quick story how to actually use it for financial income and how you can directly make money. This is a very personal story, but it will hopefully give you a perspective of what to or how to even use these things that we're talking about. So it happened a couple months ago. I have a lot of these stories, but I will share this one. So it happened a couple months ago. I was in a spa, just having a nice vacation with my wife, with my kids, putting my at the time 6-year-old to bed. When I started hearing again, I hear, let's call them voices.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I started hearing, like, take your phone, open the app, go to a very specific app,